Hiya, I'm Maria from Hairy Dog Crafts. Today I'm just going to do a short video to get you started with your drop spindle. So to start, I've got a length of yarn that I've put a knot in, and I'm just going to put it around the drop spindle. Here we go. Now I'm going to be using some of my drum carded fibre. This has lots of fun bits in. It's got mulberry silk and sari silk, bamboo, and of course glitter. I particularly like fun yarn like this for spinning with, because even as a beginner, it doesn't matter if it comes out all lumpy bumpy. It's still fun and interesting, and you can still use it. And I feel like it makes it easier on yourself, because you've still created something beautiful, even if it's all misshapen. Now to start with, so I've got this length of fibre, I just split mine. There we go. Now if you've got roving that's got different colours in it, you might want to split the colours apart to keep those colours separate, and then spin those as you go along. Or you could be like me and just spin it all together and see what happens. So before I start to spin, I'm pre-drafting, which is just pulling the fibres along the length like this, and you're thinning out your fibre to almost the width that you're going to want to spin with. You can pre-draft it to exactly the width that you want it to be if you want, or you can do it like this to make it easier for yourself, and then as you're spinning just refine it a little bit more. Here we go. So that should get us started. So take your drop spindle and take this yarn and put it through the notch and then around the hook. There we go. Take your fibre, put it through this yarn like that, and then just pinch together like this. Now give your spindle a few spins. I do it in a clockwise direction, because if I just keep doing it the same way each time, then you know that if you want to ply your yarn, which is when you've got two or more yarns or fibres that are spun, and you ply them together. So I know that I spin all of my singles, which is a single strand, in a clockwise direction, which means that when I go to ply, I will ply everything in an anti-clockwise direction. It just makes life easier. Okay, so as you can see, we've now got some spin in our fibre. Now I find it easier to plant my drop spindle. I'm sitting cross-legged, so I've just wedged it between my calf and my thigh. Now you'll see that I'm keeping this pinched, because you don't want the spin going up the fibre, because that will make life difficult when you want to draft this out. So I'm going to swap hands now. Now this hand is pinching, and just go a little bit along the fibre and release, and you'll see that the spin has travelled up the fibre. So you just keep repeating that. Go. So you'll notice that I'm drafting it out slightly to make it thinner, and then releasing. There you go. So give it another spin. Now I'm going to do a little bit more. Okay, so when you've got a length that you've spun, just unhook like this, and in a clockwise direction spin your yarn around the handle. There we go. And just keep repeating. So park. You don't have to park it, but I find it easier. Whatever makes life easier for you, really. I'm a bit out of practice with a drop spindle, I'll be honest. I tend to use my wheel a bit more. There we go, so a few more spins. You can see, there we go, nice and twisted. Just keep going. Now, don't be too hard on yourself. If you haven't got a consistent width on your yarn, it doesn't matter. I mean, you might be trying to go for art yarn anyway and do thin and thick yarn and create really fun and interesting creations. It's all about enjoying yourself. There are basic rules, you know. For instance, how much spin you have. So if you've got way too much spin in your fibre, see, like this, it's quite lively. Now if you've got tons and tons of spin, whoops, twist, if you've got tons of twist, then you can get rid of some of that by, when you set your twist in your yarn, you bathe it in hot water with a little bit of detergent or soap, and then rinse it out and then shock it with cold water. This will keep the twist in your yarn. Now if you've got something lively like this, you can hang it up while it's wet and hang something heavy off of it, for example like a spray bottle that's full of water, and that will get rid of the twist for a little while. But as soon as that yarn gets a bit damp or anything again, or you've knit it into something and then you wash it, it's just going to come back to being a bit lively. So it won't lay flat so much. So it's easier to work with a nicely balanced yarn, but it's not the end of the world if it isn't. And if I was going to ply it, I would overspin it so that when you ply it in the opposite direction, it balances it out and creates a nice yarn to work with. But it's all practice, and you'll learn over time what works and what doesn't work. So for now, we're just going to keep going. There we go. If you've got too much spin in it, just don't spin it again and just keep working up your fibre like this. See, you can now see that the massive over twist has got slightly better. You've just got one little loop there. Now, so worse than over twist is not spinning enough. So if you don't have enough twist on your fibre, I'll just wind this around the handle. There we go. Not enough twist on your fibre, and it will cause the fibres to split. So for instance, if I just release this, you'll see there isn't an awful lot of twist in that. So as soon as you go to hang it, it's going to fall apart. Like that. So if that happens, to rejoin it, just get your fibre, ensure this section is nice and straight, there's no twist in it, and grab the rest of your fibre. Here's a pre-drafted bit, and lay them together keep this hand pinched, don't let it travel yet. So once you've got the two fibres together, release and just let the spin travel up like this. Now you can see there isn't quite enough twist in that, and they're actually starting to pull apart the fibres. So if that happens, don't hang it and spin it. You can just twist it with your hand like this, get some extra twist in, and you see it's now travelled up the fibre. I will admit I didn't join that particularly well and it's gone a bit thin. So if you want, you can just redo that or carry on. If you want to pull some of your fibre apart, because you know it happens, I find if I twist just before and release the rest of it, there we go, and it'll unspin slightly, but if not, you can use your fingers and twist like this against the spin and then just pull the fibre off and redo it. So there you go. If you have any questions, then just message me on Facebook, Instagram, or my email, which is hairydogcrafts, all one word, @gmail.com, and I'll help you out if I can. Like I say, I'm not a pro drop spindler, but you know, just give it a go, and if you struggle, let me know. Or there are tons of informational videos and blogs out there on the World Wide Web to help you out. So bye for now. Thank you for watching, and if you've purchased one of our spindles, thank you. You're amazing. Now have fun. Bye.